Hello everyone, I'm Yalchin. Today I decided to make a video about uh, how we can actually do the PDF rotation in a kind of smart way. And by saying a smart way, uh, I would like to explain why I call it like that. So I have put a couple of files here as an example, to be exact, a couple of images. So uh, the idea here is to mainly rotate and fix the rotation of the actually PDFs, not the images. But the way how I handled it is first converting all of the pages of the PDF into images and then convert or fix the rotation and then makes them into PDF again. In this video, I won't be showing how I will like separate those PDFs into uh, images or set of images, and then let's say again combines them, making them PDF after fixing. But I will show the main idea on the actual images that I already extracted from one sample PDF. So here we have sample image one, which is kind of rotated in counterclockwise, let's say for 90 degree. And we have another one, which is also rotated, but the rotation is not same as the previous one, as you can see. So usually to fix the rotation, I saw that people out there uses like tools, something like PDF Miner or some other tools, maybe PDF2, and there are a bunch of libraries that can help you with the rotation. The reason why those things didn't work for me is that the PDFs that I had didn't have the correct metadata. So these tools that I mentioned, they use metadata of the PDF to detect if the PDF does have some rotation, and if it does, they just take that metadata and then they try to like let's say rotate it in the reverse direction and degree to get the right position or orientation, let's say. Uh, this doesn't work for me because the metadata is incorrect. I am not sure what were the reasons that I got incorrect rotation metadata in the PDFs that I was working on. Uh, Probably, I'm guessing it's because of the scanner. Sometimes when you scan the document is like scan it, and scanner knows that you put that into, let's say, into landscape mode, and it does some auto rotation, applies it to get the portrait orientation, but I'm not sure exactly. So uh, the point is that I have the PDF that has some rotation uh, with some wrong metadata. Let's say if you have 90-degree in counterclockwise rotation, metadata says that it's in like clockwise rotation for 180-degree, which is completely wrong. Or sometimes uh, with the human eye, the PDF looks like fine in terms of orientation. It's readable in portrait mode, but metadata lies that there is some rotation and it's not in readable format. So I needed to have a kind of smart way to detect if like PDF actually has some rotation or not. And the solution that I'm using is only working for the PDFs that has some text in it. It shouldn't be like in English. It can be in any language, I'd say, but we should have some text because it's working based off of the text that we have in it, and it tries to get if the text is aligned correctly or not. So if you are trying to convert some of the like PDFs or images that doesn't have the text, but maybe images or something, probably this solution will not work for you. So either you can leave the video or continue, your choice. So to start with, I will add the main.py file that we will use for the tutorial. And I want to copy the requirements that I have used. So I used Pillow, Pytesseract, OpenCV, iMeTools, NumPy, and that should be it. For this tutorial, as it is pretty simple project, I don't use any, let's say, package manager like PipTools or Poetry. I just put it into, sorry, I just put it into main.py. So put it into requirements.txt, and that's it. So from there, we will install it. And that should be it. So we can create the virtual environment and install the packages. So I use Python virtual environment wrapper to manage my virtual environment, but you can just create it in a regular way, like this, which is usual way. But I use, as I said, virtual environment wrapper, so I will continue with that. So let's use Python 3.11, and we can call the environment whatever we want. So maybe rotation fixer. Okay, so it should be active now, as you can see here. So list if we have anything. So you can see it's brand new environment. So let's install the requirements. Okay, so they should be installed. So yeah, it's there. Now we can go on with coding. So I think this utils directory is not used at all. So we can, for now at least, remove it. So I will add the requirements chunk by chunk, let's say. I don't want to code it like line by line. The code will be available in the video description. I'll put a GitHub repository URL that you can check the code. If you think something is wrong, you can make a issue there or contribute the way you want. So for the first part, I have fixed rotation of the image, so along with the imports. So here we take the image path, we read the image, we do some checks, we convert it to RGB. So by the way, this is just expecting some JPEG image. So like this, you can modify the code according to your needs or make it dynamic to process any type of image, let's say. But for my demonstration, I just continued with JPEG. So this doesn't handle base 64, but you can convert it to base 64 as well if you need to. So here we use Pytesseract image to OCD to get the actual orientation that we have, and it gets it in a smart way. And as you can see, we have a parameter here called minimum characters to try, which is 50. So usually people out there uses 5 or something. For me, 5 didn't work correctly because I think that just means that how many characters as minimum it needs to read before it decides about the orientation. So if it just reads, let's say, 3 or 5 characters, it might not be that much accurate. I think the reason why people uses 5 as a minimum is that they are guessing that we might have a like PDF containing really less text content. But for me, it wasn't the case. In my documents, I had a lot of text, so I was sure that I will hit at least 50 characters and I can make it 50. I think I was even using 100. Then I saw that 100 is actually not needed. 50 is more than enough for the Tesseract to decide about the orientation. So here I get the result as a dictionary. So you can see I log the orientation from the result, and we get the rotate, which basically tells us how much we need to rotate to correct the document. And then I think this is just script, like maybe Latin or some other script that it will detect by the document. So then we use this library to rotate as much as we need, which comes from the results rotate from this result. And then we just return the NumPy array. That's it. And we can add the next, let's say, method or function, actually function, let's say, which is, let's say, save image. Let's look at that as well. So this is pretty simple. This function will take the output of this function and will do some processing. So basically here we are just making sure that the output directory exists, and we create a file name using uuid4.jpg, and then we define the output path by joining the output directory in the file name we created, and then we write the image to the target location and then return the output path. And after this, we also need one more function, which is basically handling all of those things in one place. You could just make this a class, or maybe in like neater way, but for me, I did it just for like demonstrating purpose. So feel free to edit or like play around this. So now this will basically this is the main like main entry point of the module. So this will accept the input directory. Input directory name can be changed maybe like to the image directory or something, but this basically means that it will take a directory that we have images that are rotated, and it will loop through that directory and try to fix the rotation of all of those images under that directory and write the corrected images to the output directory. So you can see we have a load image types. I think this is not necessary because even if we have PNG, probably, I don't know if this will work or not. Probably it will work, but this is not necessary. You can remove this if you want to process any file. So here we just get the image list to get all the images from the directory. Actually, I think we can move the sample images into sample directory, so output directory is clean. So then it just loops through those image files, get the path of those files, and it tries to fix the rotation. Fix rotation is this function that we already gone through before, and then it tries to get the rotated image. Remember, this was NumPy array, and then saves it into the output directory. and if any error happens, it just logs it. So yeah, so we also need to add a bit of snippet as well to make sure that we make a call. So this is just make a call to other, let's say, functions here. This is just, let's say, Pythonic way to directly run the module and without having anything specified in the module itself. So whenever the main is run, this will run. Probably you are familiar with. Uh, and here we just make the log level info. We specify the input and output directories, and then we call this method or function. Where everything will start, it will take this directory as input directory and this directory as output directory, and it will try to fix the rotations. So just to remember, we have these two images. We can have more, but this is what I have right now. So we expect that after the script run, uh, we will get the fixed images. By saying fixed, I mean fixed rotation. So we will be able to read those images vertically or in a portrait mode with no issues. So to run the script, hopefully we don't get any errors. If we do, we will try to fix it up. So to run the script, we can just run the main file because it's the only file, I mean, module we have coded so far. So can go with this one. Okay. So as you can see, we have these two files. Seems like I haven't saved this. So we have two files which are these files, but they are corrected, let's say. So just to compare, we can see these two images side by side. So you can see this is kind of upside down, but now here it's corrected, and same goes for this one. So this one is the one that was rotated counterclockwise for 90 degree, and this is also fixed. So once you have this kind of fixed images, if you're dealing with PDF, probably you are. So you can basically make that PDF into images, fix the rotation by this code, let's say, and then you can combine those images into the PDF again. The only thing I'm thinking that might go wrong a little is that if you have, let's say, a PDF that is, how to say, in a text-based mode, or in a mode that you can select and copy the text, but if you're using this script and if you convert those PDFs into images and then you combine it again, you will get the PDF as image, and those text won't be, let's say, copyable again. So it will be just an image. But if the only purpose is make them right uh, in terms of their orientation, you can freely do that, and it should be fine. So I'll put the code into the description, and I will explain how to run and do all those things to achieve the same result. So if you think this video is useful for you, feel free to subscribe and like the video. And if you get any questions in your mind or any issue while you're trying to play around this, feel free to comment about that or make an issue in GitHub repository. And I have a plan in my mind that if this video draws some attention, and if there is need for further improvement or just for learning purposes to code some kind of a web application, maybe on top of Flask or Fast API or Django, to have a web interface where we can actually submit the PDF, uh, which has a bad rotation orientation in its pages. And as an end result, we get a like fixed PDF. So we can do that as well from this basic, say, snippet. So thank you and have a good one.